in the group chat. So if y'all want to get that out, I'm going to spam it through everything that I'm in, and then we will get started officially. Where's the Lost Caravan, the promo one? Still figuring out this Discord. There it is. Okay, I'm not blind. Channel.
Wait, are we live? Just sitting here, super silent.
Yeah, I told you we were going live. Hey, how's it going? No,
what's up?
I'm just getting
What's
my notifications out, and then I will do a more proper. But nobody, y'all didn't have to stop talking, just because I was getting these out. It's more of a, hey, I just needed a moment. But hi everyone, we are live. I can breathe and chew bubble gum while walking. It's called multitasking. I haven't died yet, so there we go. Hey, how's it going? We are here. It's time once again for Greetings from Republic City and Avatar Legends RPG. I'm very excited to be back here on the official Republic City holiday that will be named on the spot because I only thought about it an hour ago. If Republic City even has its own, like, establishment day or holiday of some sort that celebrates their wonderful unification into a vast republic that is in no way a reflection of our own failing systems. Yeah.
Harmony Day?
Harmony. Hey, Harmony Day is actually a really good name for it. Where the Republic Cityans fought for independence from the tyranny of the everyone else.
Of everything.
It's like, yeah, actually, at one point or another, everyone but the Air Nomads kind of tried to fight Republic City in some small fashion. And the Air Nomads are like, ha ha ha, we don't need to fight. We infiltrated from the inside.
I mean, what constitutes an air nomad? Just airbending?
Yeah, I mean,
Because if so, then anarchists.
Yeah. Also, I like that meme. Air Temple Island wasn't an island before Tenzin broke up with me. That's probably accurate, because they were like, you should have seen the temple once he did. It's like, oof.
Always confused me in Avatar when I guess they went to an old air nomad like city, but I was like, wait, aren't they like traveling nomads? Why would they have such a established and I don't know, well-constructed site? I know that it was around a temple and it was probably more for coming and going, and they probably...
Yeah, they largely they did talk about it, and that was basically the reason. Was it was built around a temple, and it was for the people who maintained the temples, and people were free to come in and go, but it's very much you still need somebody to keep these areas situated for when they're migrating, but other than that, they were just there. Oh, my lighting is really off today. Boop. Nope, that didn't help at all.
Realized I was looking at the other screen, so it was like the side of my head, so I moved my camera.
Yeah, I gotta adjust your camera because it's clipping on my side too.
I'm the worst.
You're fine. Just situate yourself where you're gonna be, and I'm gonna adjust on my end. Right there?
Yeah, right here. between here and here.
That's not what I told you to move, OBS. Thank you. Yeah, okay. I think that'll do. Nope. Wrong button again. Alright. I got everybody else more or less centered. I think I can fix Anna a little bit too. How's everybody else doing? Hello, hi.
Well,
Hello, hi.
Yeah, I can move Anna over just a smidge.
I'm drinking coffee at 8:43 p.m. This is a terrible idea.
YOLO.
I have off tomorrow, so fuck it.
Yeah, if you don't actually have anywhere to be when you consume coffee, it's not really a problem. Alright. We are here. Let's get started. Officially. I always like to have the recap done by a player because it kind of gives me an idea of what you all felt was the important story beats. So would anyone like to give the recap of the last episode? I know it's been a while, and mostly my apologies for work-related stuff keeping us away for 2 weeks.
We
But-
have to do advancement questions too.
We do. Thank you. Let's do the recap, and then we will do the advancement questions, which put a pin in it for Janny when they get back as well. So we won't deprive y'all of your advancement questions, but for now, recap and then advancement questions, and then we'll go from there. And also, we will remember to do the advancement questions at the end of the session this time.
I mean, I don't want to do the
Anybody
recap.
is free to jump in and do it.
All right then. Last time on Greetings from Republic City, we actually started going to a meeting and trying to figure out ways to basically infiltrate the thing, and all of us each talked to different NPCs who might be popping up again. But once the meeting actually started, everything just kind of immediately hit the fan. My character Ihani ended up getting incredibly angry because the person talking was trying to use her experience to drive their point, and she didn't like that at all. Where Shay's character Sen ended up just wanting to ask a question about the people who had their bending taken away before. But that person used that as an opportunity to turn it into a political moment, and that made Ihani even more angry, causing her to stand up in a fit of rage and declare that if we're all equal, then why is her comfort not important? And then after that, there may have been a whisper telling the person talking exactly who Ihani was, and at that point we all kind of reconvened after sowing a little dissent at an ice cream shop, and then we talked for a minute to try to understand exactly what happened, and then we went and reported to the president.
Lily also decided to adopt a
I literally
Spider
just
dog?
I literally
Spider
just
dog.
I literally
Oh,
just
yeah.
remembered that thing existed, and I was trying to hold back the horror.
I was hoping we wouldn't bring that up.
And Sid, you failed to mention that your character Ihani made a magnificent disadvantaged roll to get that circumstance under control where Shay's character Sen was brought on stage. It was what, you were at -4 for it or something? -3? I don't know, I forget. It was It was disadvantaged by some number, but it was.
Oh no, I think it was just that I rolled the highest possible number for it.
Yeah.
I rolled 2 6s and had a +1.
Yeah. But that recap pretty much nailed it. So let's do a round of growth questions, which is what we're supposed to do at the end of the sessions, but we're going to do it now because we didn't do it last time. So, in the order that I have y'all on the overlay here, we're just going to go down and then to the right. Excuse me. There we go. Okay. So starting with our wonderful, totally not a troublemaker character, Sayaka.
What? Me?
Good old Sayaka.
No.
Sayaka, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Well, these 3 questions are for everybody, and everybody has their own growth question.
What's that?
Yeah.
Every-
I'm going to say no, actually. I did not.
Each character has to answer these 3 questions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then each player book has their own personal ones, yes. So I'm starting with these ones.
So no to that first question.
So, no, didn't learn anything. Okay. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
Like personally or within the group? Because I feel like we no, I wouldn't say. I would say that either.
I would say treat it kind of like what we did with Scum and Villainy. If you're able to justify it, then yes, and having a no is not a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna go no again.
Okay. Did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center?
No, we didn't really play with the balance mechanic very much, so.
So you're still centered.
You would be still doing it.
I started the game
Off balance.
+1. Yeah, I was off. Yeah.
And which was your playbook? So I can pull your question up. Unless you
the
have it up
hammer.
already. Do you have your question up?
My Did you make significant progress towards your goal against your adversary? We did not introduce my adversary.
You have
yet.
not introduced your adversary yet. Okay. So, round and nose all around.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yep. Alrighty. It's only the first session. It's not that traumatic yet. We have plenty of time for growth for everyone. Yuka! Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
I think we learned a few things. We learned about the cipher they're using. We learned something you could picked up on was that there were very young people at that meeting. It was not, I think, the typical idea she had of what the Equalists looked like, who they were. There was an older lady there. There were younger teens there. She learned that this stretches a bit further than what she had assumed at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
That I don't think we've done yet.
No. Okay. Did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center?
I did end the session at my center.
Okay. Do you have your personal question up?
Yes. Did you learn something meaningful or important about your lineage, its members, or its effects on the world and others? I don't think I learned anything new last session.
Not yet, no. Okay. Then we will jump over to Ihani. Ihani, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
I would say yeah. Not only all of the stuff that character name. All of the stuff that was
Yuka.
just mentioned in
Yuka.
addition to learning that like they actually are going hard at the people who weren't
Nice.
vendors who had their bending awakened. Like they're using that story as part of their narrative, forcing bending on people who didn't want it. That is just an inaccurate thing, and I learned that that was a thing. No
Yeah.
one forced them to learn bending.
The dangerous weapon of misinformation. Okay. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
That one's tough for me because it might have been a threat when Sen was up on stage, but I'm not sure.
I was thinking yes in the same direction, because threat is purposely left ambiguous. If you feel your friend was threatened, you did stop it.
All right, then yeah.
Okay. Did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center?
I believe I'm still at my center. Yeah.
And do you have your personal question ready?
Did you improve the lives of a community of average citizens? And that one, I'd probably say no to that one. I mean, I did sow dissent in the meeting, causing maybe a couple of them to not be a part of that, but I highly doubt it, and they'll be back. I'll say no.
It's not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's something else. Then our currently last player. Flip through too many things. I'll learn all the names by next session. Sen! Let's start off. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Yes, the politician guy doesn't like non-vendors who used to be vendors, even though he technically didn't answer my question. He technically did.
He did, but didn't. Yeah, he was very political about answering your question with another question and avoiding the question when the opportunity arose. Okay. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
No,
No, the spider dog is still alive.
I'm not killed it yet.
Did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center?
Ended at my center.
Okay. And your personal question.
Personal question: did you seek support or guidance from others? I think they are taking President Moon's words to heart and reevaluating her approach.
Okay. For each yes, mark a growth. When you have marked for growth, you gain a growth advancement.
I love graining a growth.
Yeah, you gotta watch for those growths though. When they get too big, you should consult a doctor.
Especially in your grains, like
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
accidentally grow some ergot, and that could cause a mass hallucination.
Yeah, you want a Scourge of Lordaeron. That's how you get a Scourge of Lordaeron. Grain growths. Gotta purge that whole city. Anyways, let's see here. Who can we start with? We bring the intro of the show in Earth, Fire, Water, Air. Republic City is now a beacon of hope for all, not just for the vendors, but for everyone together. And you see the camera zoom in past the Avatar statue to the city itself, down onto the streets where everybody is moving about their normal lives, bender and non-bender alike. When the music reaches its highest point and the credits finish rolling, we start on, roll the dice and put whoever comes up first on the spot, unless somebody wants to just jump in or to go first, basically. Nope. Here we go. Number 1, Sayaka. hi.
Hi.
Sayaka, after last night, once the group had finished with their meeting with President Moon and dispersed, you would have head back to whatever you consider home. It's the next day, but what does Sayaka's normal morning routine look like before meeting up with the others?
So Sayaka's home would probably be like a small. It was probably used at one point as like a custodial closet for, I don't know, like an energy plant of sorts, I guess. She lives in a very like stuffy, small space, but she has on her wall an autographed poster of Nuktuk, and she wakes up. She does on one of the not hot pipes. She had to learn this the hard way. One of the not hot pipes. She does set up pull-ups and then does her cardio. She goes for a run around the city. She knows a lot of vagrants and vagabonds and stuff, so if she sees anybody she knows, she may like stop and have like a short chit chat or whatever. And then she would clean up. I don't know if there's like public bathhouses or like
There is
she
now.
would whatever.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It feels like that would be something the merging of these cultures would establish. There's big fly. Sorry. There's it seems very plausible that a joint business venture between, you know, a Fire Nation and a Water Tribe, entrepreneurs would establish very steamy bathhouses for people across the city.
Yeah, so after she leaves her pretty much closet space where she only owns like a cot and that poster. It's so barren that it's not even funny. She does her workout. She goes to the bathhouse, and I think if it would be okay with Zen, maybe last night we had arranged to meet just to kind of kick back and chat.
That'd be
Is
fine.
that something Sen would be, you know, interested in, or something we would have discussed?
Yeah, she'd be interested in it.
Well, let's
So-
use that to piggyback into Sen then.
Okay.
Sen, what does your home and morning routine look like before the two of you converge on this bathhouse?
Her apartment is shit. It is kind of old and run down, but she has her bed. She has like a little showery area and probably like a punching bag, or even better, just a rock in the middle of the room that she punches to get some morning exercise in. I feel like she keeps like her armor and metal bending gear kind of hidden away. Doesn't really go out with it unless she knows she's going to use it.
Did she have like the whole 9, like the Attack on Titans gear? Like the
The
oh no, I know
Oh,
the
the-
metal benders in
the-
Republic City, like
the-
for the police force, they have
The
like
Spider-Man cables?
yeah, the Spider-Man cables.
She, I don't know, maybe, probably. She probably still has an old pair of that. Probably hasn't used it in a while.
Hmm.
Okay. So the two of you plan to meet up for some early morning bathhouse meeting and arrangements. My question before I segue to anyone else: did you plan on just meeting the two of you, or was this a group invitation for everyone?
So I kind of thought about the circumstance as like the way, I don't know, given the way Sen reacted to my arrival post her leaving the stage last session, I had thought that she wanted to like decompress and have time to like really discuss the moment and how it affected her. So I don't know if it would have been like a personal conversation. I would have asked these questions of Sen, I guess. Also, there's fireworks going off if you guys can hear it. Sorry.
I was going to preface that as well. We live near a military base, so ours may be especially loud, but it shouldn't affect anything other than the occasional pop. But we kind of knew that going into a holiday.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess Shay, what that was kind of my thought process going into the invitation for Sen. So I don't know if that's how you feel. Otherwise, we could just be meeting up with the gang to get like early lunch or something, you know.
She's fine with going to just spend time with Sayaka because Sayaka is her lodestar.
Okay. So I'm going to put a pin in the two of your meeting and jump to another person and establish where their narrative thread will be heading in just a moment as well. So I will go ahead and say, Ihani, what does your home and morning routine look like?
Well, Hani lives at Air Temple Island because that's just where she is. And I imagine her day starts off just like getting ready, helping out around the temple, maybe doing some chores before anything else, helping cook or something. Yeah, let's say they help cook. That sounds good. And then she... I don't even know. Can we say that I'm training today?
Certainly. Yeah. So we see that morning routine of the always cool leaf through the swirling platforms, and so we see Ahani doing that a couple times to get started. And why don't we? Fairly certain there's a role we can do for this, right? Because I just want to have a role for it. Why not?
Rely on skills and training.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad one for me.
Excellent. Let's see it.
That's rolling with focus, right? Yeah.
Yes. 6? Okay. And so, I need to pull up what happens with that specific failure. Relying on your skills and training. Here we go. On a failure, it does not have a negative outcome. So what and feel free to add to this as well. This is one of those training sessions where it's not Tenzin leading it, but it's his son, whose name escapes me at the moment. Iki, someone else, and then the son, and I forget his son. Milo. It is Milo.
Yeah.
Milo is leading, and Milo has really come into his own the last couple years since everything has happened. He's grown some hair. He no longer airbends through snot bubbles, but he's taken to the leadership role pretty strongly. Not so much that he's as firm as he was with training the lemurs, but is one of those, you call that being a leaf on the wind? I want to see you flow! And he just, like, blows a little whistle to get you back on your feet as one of the spinning boards smacks you on the side and spits you back out.
Yeah. Fair.
Take a deep breath, center yourself, and try again. Oh no.
Worse.
Also, great way to spell his name. 2 E's instead of an I. Yeah. So, as you get up, you take a breath, you try and focus again, you get one step in before 2 boards coming from opposite directions just collide and knock you in again. And Milo lets out just a little sigh, stands over you, offering a hand, and he just says, "All right, maybe that was more like a boulder on the wind, but we can find a way to make you flow."
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Let's start with a simple question. Is anything weighing you down? And he kind of like raises an eyebrow at that, thinking he's clever.
I mean, obviously there's a lot going on, like especially just yesterday, all of the stuff that happened there. Like, yeah, I'm way too in my own head right now.
All right. Well, you're still very new to this, and I understand that, because I've been doing this my whole life. I can airbend in my sleep. I have airbended in my sleep. That's not to say that you should have this down day one. Nobody has it down day one. What I need you to do is focus on the moment. That's going to help you release all of the earthly burdens and move just on the wind. I know it doesn't sound like it'll help, but if you inhale all of the negativity and exhale it out of your body, at least for the moment, all you have is air.
Okay. I listen, but then I'm gonna take off running towards it, and I'd like to push my luck.
Okay.
I'd like to offer if she fails again, she gets the fullest condition.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Mixed hit. So pushing your luck on a...
You see,
Of course
that
that's-
would have been another failure if
Yeah, I
it
was-
was skills and training.
I was like, see, and of course this is one that doesn't have a partial success. Okay. So the way this looks is you go in charging and you hear him going, "That's not being air!" And as you push forward, you slip by and you're moving through the motions, trying your best to emulate it while acting more rashly, because the thing about air is, well, sometimes it's a calm breeze, other times it's a hurricane, and it seems like you're taking the hurricane approach, and with it, the tempo of the spinning moves with you as you use your bending to keep the momentum going at your own pace, but kind of at the same time not truly having control of it. You're getting hit as you're going through, but you are going through. It hasn't hit you so much that it's off-balanced you. You're able to refocus and recenter yourself with each strike, and it seems like even though you're being bumped, you're able to continue flowing with that movement, letting it guide you. And after a few of these hits, you finally step back out on your own, but there is just a quick bump to the backside as you step out more triumphantly than getting shunted out in failure. And he says, not the approach I would have taken, but you do have spirit.
Thank you. I just didn't want to get hit again that hard.
Well, you did get hit again, and the thing about getting hit is being able to get back up on your feet. So if nothing else, take that as today's lesson.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I think that scene kind of ends with the two of you giving respectful bows to one another before the camera pans to our last morning introduction of Yuka. What does your home look like, and what's Yuka's morning routine?
Yeah, Yuka's apartment is fairly comfortable. It's downtown, facing a street. It's fairly well furnished. She's not without money from her family, and she makes a fairly good salary with the government. So it's a nicer apartment with an assortment of plants that she keeps inside. The first thing she does is she gets up and gets ready in the morning. Is water across the tops of those plants and bursts it into a mist to water them. She's up a little earlier this morning to finish up the report of everything that happened last night. Today's the holiday, right?
Yeah, we'll say today's the holiday.
Yeah, so she knows the president and her assistant Bolin they're probably not going to be in the office today, but she still wants to at least bring this report into her office. I think she probably has lunch plans, either one-on-one or family lunch plans with her aunt, since it is a holiday. Kind of paying attention to tradition in that aspect. Plus, I would like to, what's it called? Pay homage.
Perfect.
To my playbook abilities.
Yeah. Okay, great. So Yuka has some day plans to go through this as well. So the quick scene we'll do for Yuka before I jump back to Sid and Sayaka. Finishing up the report, is there any pertinent information you want to highlight in what's going to be delivered to President Moon?
I think it's mostly a more formal retelling of what we said the previous night, trying to frame it the best that she can, and of course laying out what our plan is going forward, so that it does look like we have a plan going forward. The idea of splitting the group up so that we have some people outside who are not as socially adept, or who may be noticeable within these meetings, so that we have less of a chance of being found out.
Okay. Yeah. So then, as you finish up this report, do you go deliver it yourself, or do you have an assistant that can take it over to you?
I don't know that I have an assistant, so I would probably bring it, since nobody's going to be in the office, I'm probably dropping it off in my office in City Hall, unless somebody happens to be there. And then from there, going straight to lunch.
Okay. Yeah. You arrive at the office, and just like you suspected, it's a holiday. I almost said a national holiday, but I don't think they consider themselves a nation. It's a federal holiday. So yeah, a lot of the people aren't actually there in the office today. There's probably just a very skeleton crew of people who, are like, I'm only going to work until lunch, kind of like yourself. And then they take the day off for the planned festivities. And the festivities, now that we bring it up, from around early afternoon, well into the evening, they tend to do festivals on the water and in the various areas of the urban population where there are like little game shops and stuff, kind of like what would be seen at the Southern Tribe. As you would have seen in the show, where there are little areas dedicated to small carnivals and booth games and stuff, but it's a little more accepted and not so tarnishing traditions to. Wow, that is really going off this time. It's much like that, where the modernization of these festivals have led to things like the giant Ferris wheels and little rides, but the attractions also extend out to the water, where there is several floats and stuff that are carried across the water, large kites and things that celebrate the various events that lead up to the founding of Republic City and of some of the important moments that have solidified Republic City's credibility. And the word I'm looking for is like the thing that legitimizes its existence, and I'll just say that these instances that legitimize its place within the world as a separate and independent society from the four nations, as a place where everybody can conglomerate and consolidate here if they don't want to be tied down to one of the four. Recently, you've heard... Actually, you wouldn't have heard rumors. You'd probably be the only one who would know for a fact that this year, the newest addition to this showcase is actually... now I gotta think of a great name for it. It would be a recounting of Avatar Korra's efforts to keep the Equalists from maintaining control of Republic City, because everybody knows and remembers that the city did fall to the Equalists for quite a while, but the battle that took place over the water between the United Republic forces and the Equalists is kind of what's going to be recreated through kites and boats and a lot of great work, because important moments are what people like to showcase, not the nitty-gritty of it. So, a very well choreographed aerial battle is probably one of the things that'll get the crowd excited. So watching a bunch of like kite planes get set on fire and crash into the water and stuff, there's rumors that it's going to be a real crowd pleaser when it happens. So you arrive, and there's not many people here. As you suspected, Bolin had taken the day off completely because he has a lot of important work to do on the side, and he has a wonderful girlfriend that he likes to spend time with, and he likes to tell everybody that the things that he does. Oh God, what are words today? The things that he does for Republic City are really important, but he really just likes to have that time where he can get away and enjoy things. And he probably is one of those people who has a wallet full of pictures of him and Opal having fun journeys now that she can fly them everywhere. But yeah, he's not here today. But you are surprised to see that when you go to drop this report off, that President Moon's door is actually open. Only slightly open, but it is open nonetheless.
I will approach the door then. Do I hear voices or anything? Like I'm not interrupting a meeting or something like that?
You don't hear any voices, but you do hear just the softest clack of a, if it doesn't exist, it does exist now, of a typewriter. Because I feel like technology would have progressed to typewriters at this point if it hasn't. But there is just the softest clack of a typewriter going. And it's not outside of the personality of President Moon to work, even when she's not supposed to be. You've come in several late hours to see her still here working, with poor Varric sprawled out across an armchair, passed out, waiting for her to be done, but of course she isn't. This is not one of those cases, though, when you poke your head in to see. She is just sitting there, the little glasses on her nose, and she seems to be just focused, typing away at something.
Yeah, so I'll knock.
She kind of looks up and she says, "Oh, I didn't think anybody would be here. Yuka, please come in."
Yes, I'm only a half a day, really. I'm just dropping off the report about everything from last night with the task force.
Ah, wonderful. You're always so prompt on getting these messages written up. If I had half the staff that was as diligent as you, we would have Republic City running like a well-oiled machine.
You are too kind. But here you are, though.
Thank you. I'm going to look this over, of course, but I still have the notes fresh up here. And she finishes clacking and slides the reel back into place, and she says, "And I'm just hoping to be done with my speech here in just a moment. Not something I normally put off until the very end, but here we are."
It happens to all of us. Yeah, well, I don't want to keep you, so I'll get going.
All right. Enjoy the. I forgot what we called it already. Did we call it
Harmony Day?
Harmony Day?
Harmony Day.
Enjoy. I keep wanting to say Unification Day, and it's like, that's not right. Firefly game next season. Let's go. Enjoy your Harmony Day.
You too. I hope you get some time to yourself and not, having to work the whole time.
Varric and I have a long evening planned.
Good. Happy to hear that.
And with that, you head out, and we bring the camera back to the two people who I had put a pause on because I expected them to have a bit longer of a scene. And so now we see the two of you sitting down in what I imagine would be... would you go to a private bath, or would you just be sitting in the public area?
Well, I figured I was going to go and, clean myself and then meet her somewhere for, a meal. I guess we could meet in, chill bathhouse style, but I don't know. That wasn't my thought, but it's fine by me.
Let's do it. Is Sen preferring the bathhouse or meeting somewhere else?
Sen won't say no to the bathhouse.
Okay. Then let's say the meeting was arranged for the public bathhouse, because that is a fairly common place for people to meet up and unwind, decompress. It's the entire purpose of its existence is a communal mingling spot where people can just remove the social norms and things that are normally established from the everyday expected work. Anybody who's anybody can come to the bathhouse and just enjoy some time there.
Cool. So, I guess, Sayaka got there a little early. I guess there's probably, I don't know, my understanding of at least Japanese bathhouses is there's, bathing section, and then there's, the hot bath area that's, open to, public. So she's, there when Sen shows up, dumping room temperature water in it because it's too hot for her.
Yeah, and that is a good point because my original picture was I was expecting the Western bathhouses that you would see from the Greeks or the Romans, but you bring up a good point. But regardless, because the Fire Nation is based on Japanese culture with a little sprinkling of Chinese, we will merge the two and just say that very much that, because the point of a bathhouse is to relax, not to actually bathe. So there is just an area where everybody will remove the burden of the world before going into the purifying waters, and the water tribe people who run this place are very, very insistent that you clean yourself before you get into the actual waters, because according to them, this is special imported water from the northern tribe. You know that.
Sayaka takes advantage
Spirit water.
of
Spirit
that
water.
role as her free bathing, because she doesn't have like a shower unit at her home, because her home is like a custodial closet in a boiler room, you know. So
I'm
she
fairly
takes
certain
advantage of
you
the
wouldn't be the
needing to
only
be
one to.
cleansed.
Yeah, you wouldn't be the only one either. Communal bathhouses are, to say cheap is not the right word, but it is the place that's accepted, because not everybody in the area you live have indoor plumbing, so you get your baths and cleaning where you can.
For sure. So after she bathes and cools down the water a little bit, you'll see she's like modestly garbed. She has a one-piece like bathhouse suit, so I guess bathing suit, but it's for bathhouses. Just like solid gray, standard, utility style, whatever. And she, after the water is the right temperature, she sinks herself in, and I guess it would be before sun gets there. Still.
Yeah. Since we're establishing it, the bathhouse dress code is very. You at least have a towel on when you're out of the water. Bathing suits are permitted for personal comfort. Nobody's going to be like, "Why aren't you naked?" But under the water, it's whatever you're comfortable with. You are expected to be toweled at the very least when you are out of the water. So there's going to be no accidental shots. Steam is, of course, placed in all of the precarious spots to keep this show on Nickelodeon,
Convenient censorship.
or at least on the Nickelodeon streaming platform that Legend of Korra adjacent Avatar stuff was moved to, if we are treating it like that. But for the networks, it's all conveniently placed Steam censorship for the majority. But it's at this point that Sin arrives.
Sin would wear one of the towels, and she probably, there's like hints of like some electrical burns and minor scars and stuff that have long since healed over. But she'll slip into the water as well.
And I scan around. It's a holiday, so I don't know whether it would be more busy or not. How populated is the bath that we decided to?
Surprisingly, it's not too busy today.
Okay.
Because the holiday is a communal one, a lot of people are out and enjoying the festivities that are offered to them. Much like Yuka, a lot of people are working only half days, so they're not even, fully committing to this. This bathhouse isn't going to be open for much longer either, but you're not strictly imposing on, these people's ability to leave and go home.
Gotcha. So I keep a comfortable 3 to 4 feet, and I'm like, Sen, how are you? How was your morning? Did you sleep well?
Same as any other morning, I guess.
Yeah, I hear you. Same deal. I'm glad you came though. It's good to just kind of relax and chat.
Unwind a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't really want to press the situation, but I did just want to bring it up and make sure like you got whatever. I don't know. I guess for me, I need to talk about things when they happen, and you were really like put on the spot there, and it seemed really uncomfortable. I know I would need to like just vent out if I was put in that position, so I wanted to give you the opportunity to chat about it a little bit, or if not, we can just hang out, get our bath on, go grab something to eat, and go on with our days. That was at least what I was thinking.
Let me flip a coin. Yeah, okay. Well, I hadn't planned on really going into detail with it, but...
Sorry, I had to turn up the mic.
Yeah, please remember to speak up, hon.
Well, I hadn't planned on going into detail about it or anything, but
Well, then don't worry about it. It's whatever. Like, we can hang out, we can talk. I don't know.
What was that guy, a senator?
Yeah, he would have been a public official. Senator is a good word for it here.
That senator is a bully.
Oh, without a doubt, and it was hysterical because I'm sure he's shown that sign before, but he's never been exposed, so the people thinking he's the one leading the right track, they don't even know what they're looking at. I don't know. It's just beyond me how that situation even happened. How a person who's trying to begin a movement can be so, I don't know, ignorant to their own failings.
It's not ignorant. He's playing with people. Also, what was his name again?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
It started with a G. That's all I got.
Oh, dang, it did. Hold on. Nope, I have it. Nope, I just wrote politician. Fuck. My note. I was like, yes, I did take notes on this. No, I have everybody else's name down. I think that was the problem was I had given the name and then we were like, what was his name? And in the middle of the session, we were like, nobody remembered what his name was. And I was like, I'll go back and look at it and find his name. And that never happened. Why don't we just make a new name? And that'll be the new canon from going forward because I'm bad at this. Okay, starts with the G, male names. None of these are good. Gotta play the randomizer generator game. Ooh, there we go. Gong Fei-Lo.
I'm going to write this in my notes. So
I'm also writing this in my notes.
Character.
A very important person who needs to have their name remembered. So he's Senator Gong Fei-Lo.
We could just go with Fei-Lo and figure out his first name, the G name, later.
That's true. Senator Fei-Lo.
Is he like legitimately a member of the Senate, or is he calling himself senator as the?
He is a established figure within the representatives of Republic City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right. Fei-Lo he's kind of trash. I don't know how better to put it. Yeah,
he
he's
doesn't even remember the people he hurts. So I never really told you the details about what happened to me during the Equalist movement, did I?
no. Yeah, no.
No.
And she looks at you and she has a concerned look on her face, and she's kind of given the like, you really don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but I'm here for you otherwise kind of thing.
I had my bending taken away.
Oh no. See, I can only imagine what that's like. I mean,
Well, it was not a pleasant experience. I was working for Lin Beifong at the time, and I just happened to be I don't know. It was when I joined the task force hoping that I could protect people, and well, I couldn't even protect myself, so
it's so rough.
doing better now, of course, but
Yeah, and
it's
look,
the whole reason I asked that question of him. If he knew who I was, I don't think he'd be very... I know he wouldn't be very kind to me, whether I was a bender or not.
yeah, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. And you know, maybe there was that moment of vulnerability where you couldn't protect yourself, and yeah, you were trying to protect others, and that's what you got to keep in mind. We're doing this to protect others now. And, I don't know. Let's make sure it gets done. And she looks at you with like a little bit of a smile, and she's trying to give you some motivation and like a little pep talk, I guess, out of the whole thing.
Well, if we're going to be protecting others, I don't think today is going to go... I don't think today is going to go by without seeing some of their people try something.
I'm hopeful nothing happens. There's so much going on. There's parades. People are performing in parks. It's, you know, there's people just having family events. Like, I would imagine this isn't a day about bending or not bending. So I would hope that they would
No,
try to be peaceful.
It's a day when benders, non-benders, all the different nations got together and built a city that was for everyone. Look, I don't mind going and enjoying the festivities, but whenever the president makes her speech, I like to be pretty close.
No, like close to the president.
Hmm?
Oh, you said mm-hmm. Like yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've never. I don't know. Like I came onto this mission. I guess selfishly, like I was trying to make a few bucks, and
Well,
I want to protect people that are close to me and innocent, but I've never really thought of myself as a protector of, a public figure. But I see where you're coming from, especially with the motivation of the equalist movement. It's and I kind of like lower my voice as I say that, like to a whisper nearly after looking around, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm here. I'm gonna do my job as best I can, but yeah, I guess I'll follow your lead, whatever you do.
Well, despite everything, I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm a little tougher than I was when I first joined the task force way back when.
I nod. I'm like, yeah, you're tough. And look, I believe in you. I know you had things rough, and like I said, I can't imagine what that's like. I know bending is so much more than just being able to do something others are not. I know that it's connected to you personally and spiritually, and it's something that I haven't experienced, but I still respect it for what it is and understand that you were hurt, and then you were nearly made an example of on stage. I that's why I just want to make sure you're okay,
I'm fine.
Okay, good. And then you see like some tension release, because through this whole conversation, like Sayaka couldn't clearly like read it, I guess, like whether you were chill or not, I guess.
I would say there's probably the most tension when she talks about fellow.
Talks about, I'm sorry, what was that?
Senator Fellow.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Do
Fellow.
you-
He's just a guy.
Do you have any like experiences with him from before? Is this something, is it personal beyond that moment?
Let's just say I have experience with what kind of people equalists are.
I got you. At least for Sayaka, I don't really have much more to pull from the scene, at least that I'm looking for right now. So if you wanted to...
Sayaka, do you have anything else? Sorry, Sen. Other S name. Sen, do you have anything else for the bathhouse scene before we draw away?
She splashes Sayaka.
Sayaka, you get splashed.
I splash back and I'm like, look, let's get out of here. Are you hungry? And then I guess move the day forward or something.
Sure, let's get something to eat before the festival.
Okay. And so we see the scene draw to a close as the two of you have this moment. With the talk of lunch, I'm just going to go ahead and say the four of you had planned to meet up for lunch, because it's the easiest way to get all four of you together so that we could continue this story.
Well, I guess for continuity's sake, isn't Yuka doing a family thing until later in the day? Wouldn't we be meeting
That's fair. You could
later,
Pre-lunch as well.
brunch. You're meeting for brunch.
Yeah.
a morning holiday? Like,
That
they
works.
do
I
stuff
just-
early in the day.
I
brunch
just
and
wanna
brunch and
use my,
mimosas.
pay homage thing so I can bank some resources for us to use later.
Or
Yeah.
Or they crash Yuka's lunch.
I like that idea. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Well,
That feels very Avatar.
we could crash. Ihani said that she was doing cooking on the Airbender Island, right?
Yeah, he could crash the Air Temple Island. Okay,
That's where
Just so
they're
you know,
having
we
their
eat
lunch.
vegan.
they do eat vegan. Super vegan. They respect all lifestyle choices, just not the ones that include meat.
I was gonna say, nah, I guess not. Maybe.
Everything eats.
Sayaka
Everybody
likes
eats
meat.
meat here, even the meat.
Yeah, they don't allow the meat benders onto Air Temple Island. Okay. Well then, do we want to do the three of you meeting up for lunch, or do we want to do Yuka's lunch first?
We could honestly just do our own separate things and then like meet up for like events at the festival. Like we could go to a carnival together, and it could be a perfect, a filler episode.
Okay.
I
Then
don't know. I'm just
I'll
throwing
focus-
ideas.
I'll focus in
I'm
on
sorry.
Yuka then. So Yuka, you had plans to meet up with your aunt for lunch. She calls it brunch and some mimosas, but it's lunch. She's a wealthy water tribe, shipping empire mogul. So she has the money to have a very wonderful and extravagant meal set aside for the two of you. So why don't you do me a favor and just give us a quick rundown of the introductory shot of what your aunt looks like when the camera puts her into frame as you arrive to this very nice high-end restaurant on the upper side of Republic City.
Yeah, she is Yuka's mother's sister, and Yuka looks a lot like her mother, I think. So, not exactly like an older Yuka, but fairly similar. Like the family resemblance is definitely there. I think she wears very modern clothing. She is very much the one seeking a new direction for our family to go in. So she's modernized her clothing, the foods that she eats, stuff like that. She's very much the that aunt who is very worldly sort of thing.
Okay. And you do, when the two of you meet, she's up on her feet quickly. She says, Yuka, darling, it's so good to see you again. Which is pretty funny because she has a residence here in Republic City as well as in the Northern Tribe. And she does come and go fairly frequently, but in the last couple years, she has been predominantly residing down here in Republic City. For obvious reasons that the two of you are aware of. But when she hugs, it's very firm and loving, and she says, it doesn't look like they're feeding you well enough, though. Do I need to have a word with that president to make sure you're being paid enough?
No, everything's quite all right. I'm getting paid plenty, and I still see some money coming from mom and dad, so it's not anything you have to worry about.
That's good. They are doing well, by the way. I did have a chance to see them during the last trip. They asked about you quite a bit, and I told them only the bare minimum. You don't need to worry.
I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that they're doing well.
They are. But why don't you tell me a bit more about you? How are things going? How is work? How are your friends? How's your love life? And she just kind of offers a seat to you and sits down as well and seems very interested in hearing everything.
Yeah, avoiding that last question, I will tell her just about how things are going, just general details about my job, nothing specific, stuff like that. I'm just trying to keep a good relationship here so that just in case we need stuff in the future.
And she doesn't pry. That's one of the great things about your aunt is she's nosy but respectful. When it's clear you're not going to talk about a subject, she doesn't press it any further. It's why it's so easy to talk to her as well when things need to be discussed, because much like yourself, she has a level of discretion because of life choices that were made that are generally frowned upon within the water tribe. I keep wanting to say water nation, and I know it's wrong, and it's like, no, okay. Within the northern tribe, it's largely frowned upon, but it's part of what helps the two of you connect. As the two of you are sitting, of course, the drinks are brought first, and she sips rather more to enjoy it than for any level of intoxication that most people who consume mimosas on a large quantity during brunch would. And then the assortment of imported fishes and more. Today is different because normally you're used to having a wide array of meal type options with her. Today she ordered strictly Southern tribe delicacies, which seems a little different. And it's like usually there's a plethora of options, but today it's strictly just Southern tribes. Fish dishes, maybe some things that are wrapped with nori, or a small helping of rice, because that's not something that's normally used that far, but through the use of trade, it's kind of been integrated into their cooking now. And she says, that's all very exciting. She discusses business with you as well, the way things are working for the shippings, some actual deals that have been worked out with Varick Industries. Largely, she attributes to because of your working relationship with President Moon. He immediately recognized the coincidence of the two of you being related, and she's like he was very interesting when he called for a meeting for a joint business venture between the two of us. He spoke very highly of you and your work ethic. I think he's trying to scalp you from the family business.
I highly doubt that. From how he acts towards me on a daily basis, I wouldn't know that he thought highly of me. So I'm happy to hear that, and I'm very much certain it was. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself that I'm certain there was a coincidence there, that my aunt did not just leverage this for everything she could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, knowing your aunt and also knowing Varick, it's very likely that the two of them used you as a not a pawn, but sort of a back and forth. It's like yeah, well, she's my niece, and he's like, yeah, well, she's my wife's assistant, and not really an assistant, but somebody who works directly under her, and I rely on her quite heavily. And it's like, well, I also do. And it was just a trying to one up each other more than a how could we best utilize Yuka for this situation. Both surprisingly took a great deal of pride in knowing you and having you in as an asset. And it's just like
that doesn't feel great. Makes you feel very small.
And there's a moment where she kind of realizes that, and she says, "Oh, darling, I apologize. I didn't want you to seem like you're a bargaining chip. We both value you very highly, and we were both very proud of the work you do. It was more of a matter of pride that you're my niece. And I had to remind Varick that you're not just an item for monetary gain. surprisingly, it's very easy to put him in his place. I think there's something to that relationship between him and President Moon, where he likes to be reminded that he's not actually the top dog, if you catch my meaning.
Huh.
I do. I think you may be right.
Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Are you going to be taking part in the Harmony Day festivities?
Yes, I have some colleagues that I'm going to meet up with later.
Oh. Anyone cute?
Takes a big drink of whatever she has.
I'm asking for myself, not for your working relationship.
I don't think anybody you would be interested in.
I volunteer as tribute.
And she kind of laughs it off. She doesn't seem disappointed. She says, "Oh well, no matter. Maybe I'll hook somebody someday, but for now, work is what's most important, I suppose." Oh. Huh. Well, all right. DoorDash just canceled my order.
Jerks. Did you order?
I ordered
Is
our.
that still in character?
No, it wasn't.
No, I'm
it
kidding.
literally just interrupted because it popped up on my phone because the food was supposed to be here right on time for us to go to break, and it was like the person. I was watching it as we were talking. Sorry to actually derail this because now I have to figure out what we're actually going to eat. But it was like it showed them get to the place where the food was going to be, and then it was just nope. They canceled it, and it's like no explanation. Just they did. Oh, it was reported to be closed. Okay, well that probably makes sense, but it was open when I ordered, so I'm blaming the driver, I guess. Anyhoodle, back in character. I'm so hungry.
Actually, I've had experiences with DoorDash when, like on holidays and stuff, where like the website and everything says that it's open, but like the business is actually closed.
Yeah, it doesn't show the actual holiday hours, which is probably going to be the case. So I thought I had caught one that would be open, but apparently not. That's fine. Refocusing back into game.
I just want to make y'all dinner now.
We've got stuff. When I woke up, there wasn't time. Anyways, Yuka, is there anything important you want to discuss with your aunt while the two of you have this moment?
I don't think so. This was more checking in, keeping that relationship up, and then I want to use my ability from my playbook, pay homage, so that my playbook has resources as currency that I can trade in later, like mid-mission for specific things, like, look, haha, I had a car ready for us or something. So I was hoping to take this opportunity to bank some of that.
Let's do it.
So normally you roll on tradition, but I'm wondering with my aunt and who she is and how her place within the family, should it be tradition or should I roll with progress?
I want you to roll with progress because I like that idea better.
Okay. It doesn't change anything today, but it may change something next time. Because I'm currently balanced. So. Okay, so hoping for, come on, full hit.
Oh no! Okay.
On a miss, they're dissatisfied with your display. They're cutting you off until you fulfill some task they said to you. So yeah, I don't have any resources till I do something for her. Cool.
Okay. I'm not gonna have that happen just yet, but I'm gonna make a
Makes
note
sense, yeah.
that something needs to be done. And I don't know. The way the roleplay conversation went too, it's just kind of hard to see this conversation shift into the negative.
Yeah. It could be something that happens later. That's
yeah. Well, everybody crashing your brunch would have been the perfect moment for that, but oh well. I do feel that the rest of the meeting goes well between the two of you. You have this time to talk with her, reconnect, since it's been a little while since the two of you have had just a moment to yourselves. Everything is fine between the two of you. She asks a couple more questions. Some of them are a little invasive, but as is her nature, as soon as there's a little bit of pushback, she's stopped, because I feel like she's more of a gossip type of aunt that will ask questions but respects those boundaries. And so as your time comes to an end, the two of you are walking out, and what does cap off this moment and leads to this pay homage roll, she says, "Oh, and there is one last thing. I didn't want to bring down the mood of lunch with family business, but I mentioned talking to your parents last time I was up north." And she reaches into her jacket and she pulls out a little envelope, and she says, "They wanted me to pass this along to you, and I just want you to know, once you have a chance to read it, whatever you decide, you have my full support."
I very hesitantly take the envelope. That's kind of ominous for you to say that.
And her expression looks serious, a very rare thing for you to see when she's not doing business. And she says, "It is. And I promise you I did not unseal or read the letter. That would be disrespectful to you and your parents, but I can guess what's inside."
Okay. I appreciate your support. I always do it. It always means a lot.
Do you need a ride back, wherever you're heading?
Yeah, a ride would be good, I think.
Wonderful. She signals for a Sato taxi, and the two of you ride. She pays to be dropped off first, and then leaves enough money, more than enough, to cover the fare of wherever you're going. The two of you exchange a brief hug before she departs for her manor, but she just reminds you one last time and says, "And whatever you decide, just know that you have somebody in your corner."
I appreciate that. Once the taxi gets going, I really don't want to open this envelope, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
We should open after break.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta use the bathroom.
Yeah, actually, we are at the hour and a half, which is a great dramatically stopping moment. As we cut to the commercial break, I think the camera is perfectly fixated on Yuka's hands holding this sealed envelope, and it has like the wax stamp of your family's sigil icon, whatever denotes your family within the Northern Tribe. It has that official marking on it as the wax seal with this blue wax, and we see Yuka go to open it as it cuts to commercial break, just in time for us to take our break right here at the hour and a half mark. So everybody get up, stretch. We will take a couple minutes. Normally we'll do 5. Let's do 10 today because now I have to figure out dinner since my food didn't arrive. So we'll go a little longer today. Come back at I'll go ahead and round it up to just say 20 after. So we'll go a little bit longer, but we'll come back at 20 after and continue. So stay tuned, everybody. Thanks for watching. People who are in chat, thank you for talking. We will be back shortly. And I left that image above. There we go.
Happy birthday.
Yep. My mic is muted. I'm stepping away.
I'm back.
Okie day. Hello.
Oh, I'm back.
I have messages.
Yeah, messages. Oh yeah, Jenny said she's back if you wanted to try to get...
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah, it's like a good time if we're planning on meeting up too, so...
Yeah, actually, that's great. That's let's see what they're up to. Still not sure why they can't just pop in.
Oh, heck yeah. Yakuza Like a Dragon's on Game Pass, which
Ooh.
is awesome. That's the one that's like a turn-based RPG?
Any Yakuza games are really good, though.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the like beat 'em up style, like open world stuff. Like I never really got into it. So like I've watched actual plays and stuff. I love the nonsense going on in the Yakuza games, but yeah, I think Like a Dragon I would actually want to play. Yeah, let's install that in the background and hope my computer doesn't die while we're streaming.
Alright, well, assuming she sees it, I am flexible enough to get them in, but if not, it's alright. So, we come back. We come back as soon as I put the away screen away. There we go. We come back. We hear. Hello, it's us. Hi.
Hi.
I hope everybody had a good break. Was able to get up, stretch, grab something to eat. We had soup. It was delicious. Not quite what I had ordered. Grumble, grumble. But that's what happens when you pay for freedom.
When I get there, you guys are never not gonna have like baller dinners. Sorry, just saying.
Oh no! How horrible food. Anyways, I'm all for that idea. As we come back, the camera now focuses on Ahani. Ahani, you have finished up your training for the day. The air nomads at the temple all want to also take part of this festivities because having the Air Nation be seen actively in the community, helps them get their numbers back up, and so it's one of the things Tenzin highly encouraged, which shows a greater level of flexibility from him. From when the temple had first started, he's embraced the idea of being out and open with the rest of the world instead of being more careful and secluded when the numbers were small. So you're finishing up with training, packing things away for the day, when you notice that one of the ferries that makes its rounds to and from the island to the city proper has just offloaded two familiar faces that look like they seemed intent on looking particularly for you. Sayaka and Sen have stepped off the boat and are slowly making their way towards you.
Honey!
I join them. Yeah.
What's up? Are you done? Are you done eating your broth?
Hey, it's a lot better than broth. We usually do rice with a good broth, some vegetables cooked up,
You know
steamed
what?
most of the time. It's
It-
pretty delicious.
You know what goes good with rice?
What's that?
A lot of things, but I'm thinking of hippo cow.
You know it's really good too? Chicken eel.
Chicken eel is good.
Especially with the nice, stir-fried rice. Yeah.
Those animals are living, okay? Like,
I mean-
they
So are the
deserve
plants.
to live too.
Those plants were alive too.
Yeah,
Oh,
but at
no.
least plants, you don't have to hear them scream in pain.
I mean, you don't hear the meat scream in pain either.
I mean, not when you're getting it from a vendor.
Well, what about, I don't know, we got ice cream the other night, I don't remember if you had any, but,
I didn't.
Did you know hippo cows are carnivores?
I did not.
Yeah,
That's
they eat meat.
interesting. That's fine.
Would you deprive the hippo cow of its meat?
Oh, I would never deprive any animal of its nutritional basis, especially if it's important to the survival of the animal. But, we have the ability to eat without causing harm, so why would we?
I think it's really important to understand here that I don't think either of us are trying to or either. I'm sitting here trying to be a diplomat, a moderator, if you will. I'm like, either of us are trying to force you to eat meat. We're just poking a little fun, and I don't know, what is a gimmick of the holiday I could distract the conversation from, because I see this is going nowhere and probably not going to end great.
Oh yeah, it's not going anywhere, but honestly, I would never fault either of y'all for eating what you like to eat. It's just not for me.
I am curious though. Do you have to take supplements or anything?
Actually a few, especially vitamin B12, you gotta find another source for that, because most of the time you get it from meat.
Gotcha. Well, I think I was gonna go try try to win something in the knife throwing competition. You wanna come?
Oh, yeah, I'd definitely be down for that. That sounds fun.
Do you want?
Heck, I might be able to use some air to help influence the strikes.
Hey, no cheating, that takes the fun away from it.
Is it really cheating if I'm the one throwing it?
I think it says no bending. I think there's a sign.
Is there?
I mean, we can find out when we get there.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm down. Yeah,
Alright,
I was
I'll compete.
planning on going to.
Yeah, I'll compete with you, and we'll see which one wins the giant stuffy.
It better be given to me. I own no furniture. I need a giant stuffed animal.
I barely.
You guys
own
are competing
furniture.
for my admiration now.
You know, if you ever want to come, like my apartment's really kind of not great, but at least I got a somewhat, mostly not rusty shower.
I mean, if you
let's-
like, I could also talk to the people here on
No, thank
Airbender
you.
Island.
No, thank you. And I don't know. Maybe we. I guess like. So I could kind of like dips out of the whole question. She has a morning routine, and it just works where she's at, you know. And it's like change is scary kind of thing. I guess is the kind of emotion she's portraying in a Nickelodeon cartoon character sense, you know.
Well, come on, let's go. I want to get a couple games in before President Moon makes her speech.
Sounds good.
And I'm sure we'll see Yuka there.
Wait, where? I was just saying, where is Yuka?
Working, I think.
That girl.
Who works on Harmony Day? Oh, everybody's still there? This conversation just stopped.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no, I'm
Yeah.
still here. It felt like a natural end to that scene for me.
We're all just stunned by Yuka working on a holiday.
right. It's just like jaws on the floor.
I
Transition
mean,
time.
technically training and doing chores around the temple is my work.
That's true. You guys interrupted somebody else's work to be shocked somebody was working. Yeah, so with the three of you in agreement to start heading to the festivities, and the question of where is Yuka, we cut back to Yuka in the taxi, still holding this letter. Has Yuka decided to open it yet, or is she going to wait?
Oh, it's a long pause, but she does open it, because if her parents sent it, she needs to know what it is.
To sum it up, it's a rather lengthy letter. It's written by your father as the patriarch. It is a lot of the first section of it is checking in on you, telling you some information about how things are going up there. Very formal, direct. As it continues on, it gets to the next section where it says, "We are pleased to announce to you that a suitable husband has been found. We will be making arrangements to head to Republic City for your introduction in a couple weeks." It also gives you a name, which I am going to generate right now and definitely remember.
Sorry, I crumpled into a heap for you.
Ooh, that's actually really good. But I probably will mispronounce it, but I love the way it sounds in my head. Toalro? Toalro.
It's probably Tauro.
Talro.
Tauro? I don't know. I can't roll, but I know it. I've
There's
heard
also-
a name similar to what you're trying to say.
There's also this one that's really good. Varrock. I'm kind of torn between the two.
One's a surname.
Varrock Talro.
Varrock.
Yeah, I was thinking Tauro Varrock.
They don't.
They don't have.
Yeah, we don't have surnames. That's the
Oh, yeah, there you go. Never mind. Tribe names? Oh, it's just the Northern Water Tribe.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's. Yeah. which is kind of why it was, the symbol that denotes her family was not super specified, but it's like just that little differentiator. I think I might go with Varrock, just so we don't stumble over the pronunciation of the other one. As cool as it sounds in my head, all of our heads, Turok is also very cool sounding, and I just imagine this large, majestic himbo with that name.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that down.
Varrock reminds me of a boulder.
Yeah, I did have a very Boulder image, with the like Nuktuk skimpy vest type of outfit. Yeah, it's fine. All right, Varrock, Yuka's betrothed. Okay.
She sits there and stares at this letter for the rest of the ride.
Yeah.
Pit in her stomach.
There is also a picture of him included.
Of course there.
Is he like giving finger guns?
Oh, he is now.
No,
no, he's
Just like
not.
One
He's
eye
not.
caught half wink.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's that terrible.
one of those businessman smirks, like.
No, it's actually a very if Yuka had been into this sort of thing, it's a very modest, traditional, and very charming looking picture. For all intensive purposes, he looks like he's a very handsome man. A picture does nothing to convey, personality or what a person is really like, but at the very least, he takes a good picture. So that, like, I leave that up to character interpretation of how they take it, but from the audience perspective, Varrock looks like a very handsome, well-kept, athletic man. Definitely some himbo energy just for the fan service, but it's not a goofy picture. It's not anything that would denote that he's not a serious character, because this is a very serious moment for Yuka, and the implications of this betrothal hangs heavy in the air. And it's probably at this point, to cut that tension, that the taxi driver, who has been talking this entire time, he's one of those Uber drivers, just kind of goes, oh, that letter must have been serious. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave you to your thoughts then. What's going on with my life ain't important. And he just kind of like rolls the privacy window up and just leaves that moment there.
Yeah,
For
she
Yuka
just
to scream
nods and
inwardly.
doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Once I arrive, I will tuck that letter away. That is... I'm supposed to meet everyone else today. We're supposed to do festivities. That's something I'm just going to push to the back of my mind for now if I can.
Yep. You tuck that letter away. That is a problem for later. Okay. We kind of fast forward. There's no reason for having to play out looking for Yuka. You guys know a general area of where you plan to meet and find one another. You're in the downtown area of Republic City, the largest concentration of where festivities will be happening. Each area has its own sort of stuff, but this is where you all decided to meet up and take place for everything. It's also where President Moon is going to be making their speech, so it's the best place to be today. There are a number of games. There are several booths offering food and prizes, novelty trinkets that can be bought. Each nation, their stalls are purposely intermingled with one another. There's no sectioning off of this is where you can find the Earth Nation stuff or the Air Nomads weavings over here or anything like that. They're purposely integrated with one another to show that here at Republic City everybody is equal. It's one of President Moon's biggest talking points is exemplifying the equality of everyone. It's why she's been so popular, and it's why folks like Senator Phalo has not gained as much traction as he hoped with the idea of division, because every time somebody talks about being different, President Moon is very strategic in reinforcing the unity and the togetherness that actually exists here in Republic City. What the Republic and what you all as citizens have been able to accomplish together, and it's all showcased here as you all kind of have a moment to disperse and look around for these festivities and games. So I will leave it to you all. Who wants to go looking around at the various items?
I'm getting a Skyboar and Fire Tomato Kebab, and I'm going for Artist Alley immediately, just because it's like the first thing Mimi would do upon entering a festival.
There is definitely an Artist Alley down here too, and when I say there's an Artist Alley, I mean full-on convention Artist Alley. There are some definitely not licensed artist depictions of the romance between Firelord Zuko and Avatar Aang, as well as Firelord Zuko and Sokka, as well as Firelord Zuko and Toph and Firelord Zuko. There's a lot of Firelord Zuko. It's really weird. People seem to think he's hot.
Hang on.
I mean, he is.
And that pun was intended, yes. There's a surprising amount, like, I did this while looking for art for character inspiration. There's a lot of Zuko and Sokka shipping, and I never got that chemistry, but I'm also not against it, because it's fairly interesting to look at. Anyways.
I like Aang and Zuko's dynamic. I don't know, I think they would kind of...
Zuko, I'm 21 years old. I can order my own Capri Sun. Yeah. But yeah, so there is a lot of art, and there's a lot of interpretations and styles. And while the joke of there being just like this corner of, you know, the more risque art, there's a lot of art of people who are actually showing their appreciation towards Avatar Korra. And the various avatars who came before her. There's a lot of Aang, there's a lot of Roku, and even some more obscure ones whose names I cannot recite because they never mentioned them. You know, you only get the big four or five. You only ever get the big five, and the people who came before them, like Water Tribe Surfer Guy, he shows up twice and we never get a name for him. They do give him a name, but it's forgettable because he's the guy who Ko steals his wife's face. So Ko mentions his name, but like I said, that's all you get of him, and then it's over.
Well, I basically want to take, because last session we played, I made sure I got paid. Mm-hmm. I want to take like a good chunk of it and find like a street artist that makes like medallions and jewelry and stuff, and I want to get like a festive like showing each nation's symbol and then Republic City's symbol anklet. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just I guess stones or whatever, and yeah. I just want to get that and kind of feel in the moment with my kebab and my anklet, and I'm kind of just like hearing the street performers and just feeling myself, I guess.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I have the gang with me or if I kind of just like dipped out, but either way works.
That is up to you and the gang.
Sen buys everyone some like some of those like festival masks of like different animals.
I love it. I was gonna suggest like matching T-shirts for everyone because that's Sayaka being a dork. Well, T-shirts, but yeah. Anyway,
So, who wants the porcupine? Who wants the deer dog? Who wants the platypus bear? There's a rabaroo.
Rabaroo, please.
I handed Honey the rabaroo.
take the porcupine.
I'll take the platypus bear.
I think I'm
And-
trying to convince Ihani that I'm gonna like give her a piggyback ride, like on my shoulders. I guess not on my back, but on my shoulders. Oh no!
No
I'm-
thanks.
And that leaves me with the tiger dillo.
Tiger Dillo, that sounds awesome.
Yuka
hope
sticks
that's-
with the group, but she zones out a bunch. She's just kind of following along.
All right, I do look for the knife throwing because I have a competition to win against Ihani.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I'll be there to officiate.
Yeah, so we're going for the knife throwing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So the group, the four of you, all head off to go see this knife throwing, and it is it's a metal bender who, of course, is officiating this knife throwing. And he just says, "Step up, one and all, get your chance to throw the knives and win a prize. Perfectly balanced, perfectly lightweight. Anybody can throw these perfectly crafted, pure steel daggers." And he holds up a lump of metal, and just with a quick flick of his wrist, it shapes into a wonderfully aerodynamic throwing dagger. Thin, purposeful, and from there he splits it into three, and he says, "Just place your yuan down on the table. 3 throws is what you get."
I place the yuan down. All right, let's do this. Roll the sleeves up.
What are the targets?
Cabbages.
Perfect. They are little balloons made to look like cabbages.
And I assume it's set up like the carnival games, where it's
Absolutely.
just like rows of balloons going down.
Mm-hmm. They're also set on a mechanical rig so that they're moving. They're just kind of shifting back and forth. They're not doing like intricate movements. It's just kind of a side to side, so you have to actually do some aiming.
All right, you ready?
I set mine down too. Sure, we can go at the same time. I put down a Wulong.
All right. What should we roll?
This can be a roll. A roll.
Advance and attack, strike.
Or passion?
It would be the strikes.
There's that.
Advance
Oh,
and
I see.
attack is rolling with passion. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. Let's. I mean, you. Nope. I keep thinking trick is a different kind of trick, but it is to trick a person, not to do a trick. Yeah. We'll roll with passion and do some attacks. We're just gonna do this high low. So whoever has the highest will be the. And we'll do it. We'll do it best of 3 because you have 3 darts.
All right.
Oh shit!
Okay.
I rolled max.
Yes. Best of 3. Okay.
Oh.
Jeez, son.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think you win. But I didn't do too
You
bad.
did pretty good.
Yeah, and I think
And I say, especially because the
rolled-
the
I-
vendor was weighing the daggers as they flew.
Like I was.
Probably, that's how they work.
yeah, and so what this ends up looking like is the two of you are pretty evenly matched on this. If it kind of comes down to the last throw, because it's like Sen throws one, Ahani throws one to match it, Sen throws another, Ahani rolls, and when it gets down to the third one, there is probably just the slightest wobble to Ahani's throw, and it's more of a down to the two of you agreeing more on style points than actual precision when it comes down to it, because you both hit your marks. There were no failures on here, but the mixed success would be just that, there probably isn't as much flourish to Ahani's last throw, whereas Sen had these precision-controlled strikes, probably largely due to being a metal bender herself, but there's no real implications of cheating, because it's a competition between the two of you versus going for one of their prizes. And when that is said, he says, "That's really impressive, ladies. You both have a keen eye and throwing hand. You have earned the basic prize. Congratulations." And he takes down not one of the big stuffed animals, but it's like a tiny, kind of tiny carryable animal. And the animal configuration that we are going to have today is animal species. They are awesome. Not going to do that one though. They are stuffed slug flamingos.
Slug
Flamingos, I love it.
Slugmingos.
Yeah.
That sounds so cursed. I don't
No,
know.
it sounds so adorable.
They have a pink, and they are kind of damp, which is concerning for a stuffed animal. But it's got the long sluggy body. It's pink. It has the somehow it grows flamingo legs out of its sluggy body. It has the flamingo beak, and then the little eye stalks emerge from it as well. It's like a full-on hybrid animal, but it's disgustingly adorable.
I love this. I love this so much.
Not quite the spider dog, but still in that same vein of cursed animal. Oh, that's boring. The next one I generated was stork penguin.
Two birds. Two birds don't make it right.
Two birds. I also got goose pig.
I mean, can you imagine a penguin that had one of those distendable bills on the bottom, though?
Oh god, that's horrifying. Yeah. Ape chicken. That's cool. Yeah. So he hands you two of these little slug flamingos, and he says, "Congratulations."
Thank you.
Thanks.
I hand mine to Sayaka.
Sayaka, you have a present.
Sayaka, I don't know, anime emotes glee and excitement, turns into a chibi for a moment.
Look to see if there are any kids around. If there are, I'm gonna give mine to one of them.
Yeah, there are tons of children. So yeah, there's probably just a little dirty child running around. He's got funnel cake smeared on the front of his shirt. And he just kind of looks up and he's like, "Wow, slug flamingo!" And he hugs it, and it kind of sticks to the side of his face.
Yes, I do the same thing.
Well, I hope you enjoy it. I just, want it, and I don't have a use for it. So,
I'm gonna have so many uses for this. And he kind of peels it back, and there's just a goopy tendril that's hanging off his cheek.
ew. Now have fun with it. I just get away.
Yep.
Starting to think that it's like it's stuffed animal on the top part, and then it's the sticky hands you would get out of like the little capsule machines. It's just that on the bottom, like the sticky rubber. No, nobody. Okay.
It's still good. Yuka, how you holding up back there?
Yeah, she's participating, just kind of in and out, but she zones out a lot. Looks like she has a lot on her mind. She's not in the best moods, but she's doing her best to perform, having fun with people at a festival.
Sen's gonna roll back to, as they're walking, she's gonna drop back to Yuka's side. You're usually a bit more authoritative than this.
Not sure if that's a compliment or an insult, but
It can be both.
point taken. Yeah, I just have a lot of stuff on my mind. Family obligations, requests, stuff like that.
Well, a good friend of mine, really pointed out the importance of talking when I needed to. Anything you want to talk about?
My parents are stuck in tradition, and it's tradition that I don't want to abandon, but I don't want to be holding to it either. And those two worlds are colliding together at the moment.
What is this tradition you're taking opposed to?
I will pull out the letter and hand it to Sen.
I will read it.
I'll specifically point towards the second half since it's a lengthy letter.
Oh,
And
thank
the
you.
photograph of Himbo Borak.
Wow. Nice figure.
Yeah. For you specifically, Sen, since we don't know what your predilections are, he is a very attractive man. I mean, we already talked about it. We don't need to go into more details, but I do want to just like that low key. We are establishing that he is a himbo, and I will remind everybody that he has big himbo energy, even if this picture is very tasteful.
I want to behind them. I want, if they're okay with it, I want to rise up elevator style and be like, "Ooh, we talking about boys?"
There is just a very slow over the shoulder. And there she is, looking down at this letter, and there is a picture of a very handsome man in Yuka's letter.
I thought you guys did I didn't realize that the tribe still did arrangements.
A lot of the more traditional families do still. Those who are clinging to it, it's going out of style, but my parents are very traditional.
I'm gonna guess you've never met him before.
No. Technical is pretty big. There's a lot of people there. The family's well connected, but I've never met him before.
Well, would you like me to sabotage your future relationship?
I appreciate the offer, and I will keep it in mind. For now, I just need to figure out how to approach this.
Well, don't know really how to handle that. I'm not exactly high on the pick list in political arrangements.
That's the problem, that whether I want to do it or not, it's a match for the family I'm supposed to care about. I don't mean to. This is a lot to bring up during the festival. I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize for it. I handed her back.
Let's just try to have a good rest of the festival.
Speaking of, when is President Moon's speech? Should be soon by now, right?
I think so. We should probably go get a spot for it.
All right.
Definitely not draw on this any longer.
I hand you both, I'm going to say the thing that I said earlier just didn't happen. I was at a stall and I hand you, everybody a kebab, vegan kebab for those who don't indulge in the meat. And say, hey, we should get going. I just heard they're getting ready.
Yeah, I think I can get us a good spot up close.
That's true. You have those
I will lead
connections.
everyone on.
So you take them to where you know President Moon is going to be speaking. You also know what time that's going to be happening, and you're able to get great seats is not the right word, but a great vantage point, very close. You could even get them up to the stage with your connections. Plus, all of you are technically on this task force, so it wouldn't really bat an eye at you all getting there, but Yuka is the one who could get you closer. When you do arrive, the speech is set to begin in a couple minutes, and you can see that Varric is at least at the stage already. He's kind of off to the side, reviewing the note cards, kind of reading them over for President Moon. And President Moon seems to be not present, but he's there, getting everything situated and ready.
I think kind of being closer, Sin is going to fall back into her police training and will start assessing the situation, just in case.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think Yohani's not actually going to be standing that close to everyone. I think she's taking a step further back into where the crowd is starting to gather. That way she can hear what the people are talking about as the speech goes on. So she can just gauge what the overall reactions are a little bit easier.
Okay.
I'm
Crowd watching.
I had mentioned earlier I'm just kind of following Sen's lead. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. If she's scoping everything out, I'm kind of gonna keep an eye in not exactly the opposite direction, but kind of watch her back as she scopes around.
Yeah, I guess that would also be assessing the situation for me
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say I'm assessing the situation because I'm very good at it, but I think I'm distracted and I'm just there.
It's fair. Okay. So I have two. No, I have one assess the situation. If you guys want to roll your assesses.
Dang,
Okay.
honey.
Nice.
So with assess the situation, a partial means that you guys can ask one question. A full success gets two. So Sen, since you started, why don't you lead the questions?
I think the one that makes the most sense is what should I be on the lookout for?
Yeah, okay. What you should be on the lookout for at this point is probably where President Moon is, which following your detective work, you kind of look around the area. You see that Varric had been looking over these notes, kind of running through them again, and looking off in a specific direction, kind of impatiently. As you're following this line of sight, you finally see the car pull up. An attendant comes out in her small security detail, open the door for President Moon to finally come out. It looks like she had just been running a bit late, which puts relief on Varric's face as well, as she starts to make her way towards him in the stage. Next would be Ihani with two questions.
Yeah, who or what is in the greatest danger?
Looking around currently, nobody is in danger. There's no real signs that anything bad is going to happen here. The obvious answer to that is always going to be President Moon, but she does have a security detail with her. But for the moment of like, is anything dangerous? No. But there are security measures in place because she's always, not always in danger, but she's always the highest priority of where danger could fall because of her position. Yeah, one more.
Honestly, knowing that President Moon is already attended, what else should I be on the lookout for?
There was discussion amongst the group, and I think it was only just Sen and Sayaka, but it wouldn't be past the realm of possibility for Ihani to also be looking out for any of the Equalists that she would know personally to be here.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to be keeping an eye out for. Which I'll go ahead and just throw some follow-up information, because I feel like it's like, oh, you should be looking out for Equalists is kind of not super helpful, beyond the just here's the basic information. In the regards of actually looking for anybody you might recognize, you may have noticed one or two just casually before you thought to be looking more is there a large gathering of them? And you're surprised to see that there is not a bunch of them congregating, because even if they are secretly Equalists, they're still citizens here. And so they might just be minding their own business as well, or at least keeping up appearances to be doing so. But you haven't seen a lot of them here. You might, recognize one or two people just going about their day.
Alright.
our last question goes to Sayaka.
Where is the least obvious, where is the least obvious breakage in President Moon's coverage? Meaning, like, where is there a spot that is not fully covered, but not very obvious? Like, maybe it's on the rooftop, or maybe it's like the driver who just dropped her off. I'm thinking kind of outside the box. I'm not trying to be. Oh no, I'm trying not to like take the front approach at defending it, because I would expect those spots to be too obvious, if that makes sense.
Looking at it from a more analytical approach of trying to see where vulnerabilities could crop up in her security and protection, thinking outside the box, you actually think about the stage itself. It's one of those raised platforms, and the side of it is covered with a drapery, so it wouldn't be too tinfoil hat to think that if somebody was trying to take a more indirect approach, that underneath would be the best way to go, because there's a good deal of cover underneath the stage.
So with like the second I see, like, I don't know, I guess like a little gust of wind flaps the drape there, and I was like, as soon as I see that, I'm like, hey Yuka, I'm gonna go check something out. I'll be right back.
Okay. Try not to draw any attention.
Sayaka,
No, of course not. Hey, Sen, what's
Yeah.
up?
do you need any cover?
That would be great. So I stoik around like the like, I guess stage right.
Sin does make
And-
sure that to pull Sayaka's mask on her face and does the same for herself.
Sorry, one more time.
The party masks, the
Oh,
festival masks.
gotcha. Okay. I was like, oh, we're putting on masks and trying to look inconspicuous, approaching the security
No,
detail.
We're putting on the festival mask and looking inconspicuous because they're festival masks.
No, that's fine.
So yeah, I had imagined that we had already gotten to like kind of the front area, like we're beyond the actual like staff protecting this stage. I don't know. I was gonna round stage right, assuming that President Moon would enter stage left, and I was gonna dip underneath and actually go under the stage and make sure everything's good to go. Make sure there's no integrity issues with the stage and no people that shouldn't be there.
Well, that being said, what I need from the two of you, because we're not assuming that people disguising their identities can just slip past security, give me a push your luck to see if you can actually slip by them without being noticed.
Oh no!
Okay. And one for... Okay. I think this works, though, because if you had gone by yourself, it would have just been a full-on failure. I think the two of you kind of cancel each other out, in the sense that yours isn't a catastrophic failure.
Have a recommendation.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
So, Sayaka, as you're trying to make your way over towards this, you actually end up bumping right into one of the security. And that moment of distraction is when Sen is able to slip underneath the tarp. Because, as we mentioned, this was the quote-unquote weak point in the security, It's just that you are the one who bumped into the security that was here, giving her the opportunity to get by.
Well, clearly I'm going to plead and say I'm part of a defensive task force. I'm undercover.
Yeah, give me the plea roll before I give you a response.
Oh no, I'm so bad.
Yeah, he says, yeah, you and every triad, and the triple threat triad, and he gives you not a aggressive pushback, but it's very much one of those you need to move along now kind of gestures, and a hand on the shoulder, and he's like, yeah, you and every other triad, beat it.
Now I'm worried about Sen's safety more than making sure the situation is like up to par.
Speaking of Sen's safety, Sen, you have slipped under the tarp.
Is there anybody down here that shouldn't be here, or is there
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is a tarp underneath a tiny stage, so you are doing like a small bit of crawling to get under here, because the underneath of stages are not meant to be, fully traversable underneath walking. So as you slip inside, you start looking for. You're doing your detective work. You're looking for anything that might be out of the ordinary. And because we're getting near the end of the session, I'm going to get us to a dramatic stopping point so that we have time to do our outro questions and shilling. So as you are going deeper into the stage, you do notice there is something out of place. Something that definitely should not be here. There is a box directly underneath where the podium of President Moon would be standing when the speech comes, and the camera kind of zooms in on it, and it's a nondescript, unmarked box, but it's very obvious that it shouldn't be there, and from inside of it, there is just the very faint ticking sound, and it does the camera x-ray thing where Sen can't see what's there, but the audience can see that there is a bomb that has been placed inside of this box, packed with straw to keep it safe, and it's several sticks of explosives and a little set of wires and a handmade clock that is working as the countdown for it, and it looks like it's set to detonate soon. And that's where we hit the dramatic score of the music, and the episode ends, so that we can do our closeout stuff. And we have time for Lily to get here just before everything explodes. That's that. So, how's everybody feeling with this episode?
I'm gonna get carted away by security, and there's so much nonsense.
There's so much nonsense.
I love it, though.
All right. I'm going to go in the same order that we did this morning. The start of the episode. It was technically morning at the start of the episode. This is fine. So, Sayaka.
Hi.
Did you learn?
Yes.
Yeah, questions
sorry.
first. Growth questions.
First. Yeah.
Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
I think so. I think the conversation with Sen taught me a little bit about the ruthless nature of the politicians in the world. I've never really Sayaka's never really kept up with it, and kind of just assumed, yeah, of course they want to be popular, they want to be powerful, but she had never put in that particular level of, I guess, emotional intelligence to the circumstance.
Mm.
So yeah, I guess I'll tick that.
Okay, I like it. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
No, I didn't.
Not yet. Not yet. Put a pin in that one. We'll come back to it later. Did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center?
No, Sen, did I help guide you towards balance?
I feel like it. You being the Sayaka being the lodestar, I feel like she's the only one that she opens up to.
I like it. Okay. And then oh no, that was that one. Your playbooks question.
And I did not, because I need my adversary hasn't been introduced yet. Which
Still no adversary yet. Okay.
yeah, we'll bump into Ganzi eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah. Right on down to Yuka. Yuka, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Trying to think because I have two things, and one of them's for the first one, one of them's for the last one, my playbook one. I'll go with exciting and probably complicated for the joint business venture between my aunt and Varric Industries, because that's a Northern Tribe, Water Tribe joint venture, which is complicated and exciting, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of ramifications going forward.
Yeah, it's kind of new and exciting that after everything that happened during the Civil War, that they can start doing business together. Question number 2. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? Not yet. Not yet. Okay. And then how about, did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center?
I am at my center.
You're at your center. Somehow. and your archetype question.
Did you learn something meaningful or important about your lineage, its members, or its effects on the world and others? I feel like my letter qualifies for this. I learned that, according to my parents, I am now betrothed, which is not ideal.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And then we jump over to Ihani. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
No.
The existence of slug flamingos is not challenging.
No, just because it's a cursed critter doesn't mean that it's challenging.
Okay. Alright, and then how about, did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? Not yet. Did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center?
I am still at my center.
Still centered. And your archetype question.
Did I improve the lives of a community of average citizens? No.
You helped a small child. But that's true.
I gave them a toy.
Yeah.
Does that count? That's not a community.
That's fair.
It's a questionable toy, too.
It's a questionable toy. Alright, that's fair. Okay. And then our last present character for the day, Sen.
Hello.
Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Yeah, there's an explosive under the stage.
That is definitely challenging, exciting, and complicated, all rolled into one.
Yeah.
And you're alone.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
Does winning a competition count?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So probably not yet.
Probably not yet.
Not yet, asterisk. Did you guide a character towards balance or end the session at your center?
I ended in center.
You ended in center. And your archetype question is?
Can you English? Can I English? Did you seek support or guidance from others? Yes.
Yeah.
Bath scene.
Bath scene. Alrighty. That's the end of everybody's questions. So, in the same order, we're just going to go down the list again. This is the time to shill. So, spiel, gush your hearts out, tell everybody where they can find you and what stuff you're currently doing and excited about starting back up again with Naomi.
Hi, I'm Naomi. I play Sayaka, who's a bit of a goofball, but you can find me on Twitter at me_Mimi10, where I personally am actually also a goofball. I am currently trying to figure out what game to speedrun, so I have a poll up if you wanted to help me out with that. Other than that, I'm doing nothing. I may step back into streaming. I want to do more tabletop. I kind of want to GM something, but I haven't decided what, and I don't know where or who or. Oh no, I got to do work. I got to put stuff together. But ultimately, yeah, no, that's it. Find me on Twitter. I have an Instagram, but it's whatever. So.
All right. From there, we will jump right on down. Anna.
Yeah, I'm Anna, aka Archival Despot, most places on the internet. Queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer and podcaster. If any of that sounds interesting, you can find me on Twitter at Archival Despot. As far as where else to find me, on Sundays you can find me on Weave the Tale, playing Neon Revolutions, our Thirsty Sword Lesbians actual play. I play a burned out heir to a notorious crime family. We have lots of queer pining and queer chaos in that game, so definitely come check us out if that's your thing. Every other Friday you can find me on TTRPG, that's TEATRPG, playing our Haunted West actual play. Our premiere was this last Friday, so if you missed it, there's still plenty of time to catch up. We were having a lot of fun with it, so if you enjoy horror, supernatural things, and the Wild West, it's definitely a thing for you. I play a woman who knows far too much about demons for her own good. Definitely not running from the consequences of my actions at all. Yeah, lots of... our showrunner, I think, describes the game as it's a bunch of really hot characters and you will cry. So that sounds like your thing. Come check it out. Every third Thursday you can find me on Ballad of the Seven Dice, playing The Timeless Journey, our Ryutama actual play. July 17th is the new date this month for Youth Force Inheritance over on Thorny Dryad's channel. Our Masks actual play that is long-term, non-going, has very much a Young Justice or a Justice League feel to it. I play a protege who carries far too much responsibility for the group. And then, of course, if sci-fi or podcast are more your thing, you can find me a Response Team Omnicron, Alliance, our actual play podcast, following a PR team who unexpectedly ends up on the front lines of a brewing conflict. We have sci-fi feels, narrative first, mech combat, roleplay focused characters. It's a lot of fun. We've been seeing a lot of support, so come and see what all of the talk is about. You can find us anywhere you normally get your podcasts, and on Twitter at RTOmicron. So I have a lot of really exciting projects coming up throughout the summer. So the best place to see where and when I'm streaming to see those announcements is on Twitter, so follow there.
Ooh. Right on up to Sin.
Hey y'all, I'm Crimson Galaxy. That's KRIMSIN, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin. And you can find me on Twitter at sin_gal. And this week, for the games that I have, this Saturday I'm going to be up with the next episode of Curse of Strahd, where I'm going to be playing the Tabaxi TIE Fighter, or Psi Fighter.
You have to do the TIE Fighter
Flute.
screech now every time you go into combat.
No. They are very Puss in Boots style with their personality. They're a Tabaxi Psi warrior is what it is. And their name is Prosperity Fluke, and they hate monarchs. On Saturday, or I skipped Wednesday. What am I doing? I'm going to be back with episode 11 of 12 of our show Isekai University over on twitch.tv/Valdrinth. That's VALDRIANTH. And at this point, we are literally deciding the fate of multiple worlds as we lead up to the finale. And It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Sunday, we're going to be back with the next episode of our Call of the Netherdeep campaign over on Fool's Moon EI, where I'm playing a little goblin wizard that basically got passed up for all the good assignments when they were working at the university for like 20 years. And now they're just kind of angry, walking around with a chip on their shoulder and trying to prove that they're just as good as everyone else. And then on Monday, I'll be back here for some more Avatar Legends.
Woo. And last but certainly never least, Shay.
Hello, hello everyone. I am Shay, or Shay the Fae on Twitch and Twitter. I realize I have been kind of dormant for a while, and that was because I'm having, connection issues. But hey, I aim to get back to streaming and pick up some new games to run, and so stay tuned. I usually draw art stuff, so anyone who's interested in having artwork done, feel free to hit me up. Again, that is Shay the Fae. Easy to catch me on Twitter or Discord. And if I'm not on my channel, I am usually over on this channel, Partywave Games, playing in most, if not all, of the games there and running some of them as well.
Yeah. Anything else, son?
Probably.
Okay. Then, of course... 5th edition Extra Life game this Saturday morning over on Gamer
I forgot
Mom
to mention
Luna's.
that.
That's okay. I was getting it out there for you. So yeah, definitely check that out. Be sure to drop that in the Party Wipe one too, so folks can check it out. Because I always like pop it in, especially for the Extra Life stuff. Hi, I'm Rindis. I'm the one who was running this delightful mess of a game, mostly on my end, not theirs, because they are delightful players who I enjoy having doing all this great stuff. You can catch us
I'm a
here.
mess. It's fine.
It's okay. We're all a mess. We're a mess together. You can catch me most days of the week here on Party Wipe Games, running some game, or playing in some game, or doing something or other. I have not done anything recently with Weave the Tale, which is kind of sad, but I got introduced to the Lost Caravan RPG, and I will be running a Things from the Flood campaign one-shot on the 15th, so if you want to see me have some teens be sad in a dystopian future of a promised golden era that was ruined by awful things, set in the Things from the Flood universe that we have a continuity for on Party Wipe Games. It's going to be from a new perspective, from some new characters, and I will be cosplaying as Dustin in the Hellfire Club, so enjoy a little bit of cosplay too. So when that happens, that'll be me. That's a Friday, so it's the 15th. Mark it down, 8 o'clock, I believe. Outside of that, this game on Mondays. Currently there is nothing on Tuesdays. We need to fix that so that we can get something going again, because we were doing Vampire the Masquerade and it is no longer happening. Wednesdays is currently up in the air until we get Shay's games running, but stay tuned for those. We keep saying it, but it's actually going to happen sometime before the end of the month. We have everybody with their life movings to other countries and being on long extended vacations and Kickstarters and other shenanigans all finally being wrapped up, and we can actually get started with the games that were planned for Wednesday. Thursdays, Shay's Wild Beyond the Witchlight, that was already mentioned. The only thing on Friday is that one shot. Saturdays, I run Rime of the Frost Maiden here on the channel at 8:30s, where a bunch of people who are in over their heads try and survive in the frozen wilderness where there is no sunlight. And it's kind of bleak and fun at the same time. They're probably all going to die. Sundays, we play Starfinder. I have introduced a new character in there and put my engineer aside because engineering's not very fun in Starfinder, which is kind of a shame. So I'm hoping I'll have more excitement with the new character that I brought in. It'll be great. That's everything. That's everybody. Anybody have someone we can raid? I see Diesel Shop. they're on doing stuff, and they're good friends of the channel. So we're going to go over and say hi to the folks over at Diesel Shot. If I could spell. Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on with my brain. Then Diesel Shot. Alright. Everybody have a great night. We love you. Stay fabulous. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy Harmony Day for however long left you have of Harmony Day. Just remember that some of the themes here are scarily similar to what's going on with our real world. It kind of wasn't meant to be that way, and it's just kind of horrible how it's grown to be that way. But just remember, this is a game, and it's a safe space. We love you. Have a great night. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.